I'm Ashley Easter.
And I'm Charlie Grantham, and you're listening to Serendipity,
the podcast where we explore everyday magic all around us.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Serendipity. I'm Charlie, and Ashley is here too.
Hey.
I'm so excited. I'm genuinely so excited for today's episode because this is, I think we're classifying as a mini episode, but I don't know. We might talk a little more about it because I'm just so excited about it. But Ashley is going to share about her and Will's new house and all the whole story behind it and some details. And I am like so excited. Ashley, I think I probably told you I'm like a big HGTV person. I love so I'm like, when you have been sharing stuff like this, I've been like, freaking out. I'm like running to show Nate because it's like so exciting.
Yeah, well, I am just over the moon excited. And it's kind of a wild story. So when Will and I first got married, he actually already had a home, and he's a real estate agent, broker. He also does referrals and stuff. So, hey, if you need to connect with a real estate agent, he can help you.
This is not sponsored by him.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if you don't live in state. Anyway, so he's really into that. He also went to architecture school and then decided to go into real estate instead of finishing architecture school. But he's like, in his free time, he's always like doing this little house doodles and stuff, and he'd probably not appreciate me calling them doodles because, you know, they're all measured properly, but anyway, so he had this house when we lived in Virginia, and he had completely renovated it. He used to live upstairs with his roommates, and then when we got married, he rented out the top half, and we lived in the basement apartment, and he completely renovated that. Well, I guess it was 2017, we moved to Raleigh, and we sold the house, and we, you know, Will really sacrificed a lot for me. You know, I didn't feel super safe living in Lynchburg with all my cult background and all those things. We were also moving for a particular reason to Raleigh, but he gave up a lot, and so it didn't make sense for us to buy a house then. And so we've been renting for quite a few years now. And then we ended up, after we left Raleigh, we went and moved to Mount Airy, North Carolina. And we've been living next to his grandparents, and that's been, you know, really nice that they've let us live in the house beside them and all those things. But we'd really been dreaming of having our own home again, and particularly a home that we could like create together. And I have had these vision boards for so many years about like this dream house that I want, and ultimately like our long-term goal, we would love to have multiple properties, you know, around, and be able to rent different ones out, live in one, rent one, maybe have one in a tropical location, live 6 months there, 6 months in the States. You know, we have like this big dream, and the next big step was to get our own house. And so a couple months back, actually it may have actually even been almost a year ago, Will found this property that was in an already developed neighborhood. There were actually 2 lots across the street from each other, and they were challenging lots. Like nobody had built a home there. And the developers had only had that land and were hanging on to it for like 30 years because nobody knew how to build a house on it because of just the way the sewer lines were, and it was just sort of a smaller lot. And most people have a very like cookie cutter mold of like houses, and Will is always like pushing the boundaries of like what architecture could be like. And you know, he looks at like all those tiny homes and the container homes and like homes that are uniquely shaped. And so when he saw this property, he was like, oh my gosh, this is a great opportunity and it's a great neighborhood. It's beautiful, sidewalks, lake, all the stuff. Let's buy this and we can build something that nobody else would have thought to build there and we can get a good price. So we bought the land. It actually took a long time because there was a lot of stuff involved. It shouldn't have taken that long, but because it had been, kind of not really bought for 30 years, there was like a bunch of hoops you had to jump through. So anyway, we bought the land. We brought this architect out, cut down all the big trees, bushwhacked all the stuff. And we were making these plans to build a home from scratch on one of the 2 lots that we bought there. Well, then the economy changed. And because of COVID and all of that, the supply chain for building supplies, particularly a lot of those foundational pieces, not only did it skyrocket, but Will was talking to builders who were just like, it's very difficult to get all the supplies you need right now. And we had been thinking, okay, it's going to maybe take a year to build. We might be in there sometime late 2023, something like that. We're going to be able to build this from scratch, all these things. And then after we buy the land, we get the architect out there. And then all of a sudden it's like, we're not going to be able to do this right now. Like, it's just exorbitantly expensive. It's going to take so long. And will even the items we want be available? And so we were kind of like, pretty disappointed. I was pretty disappointed because I was like, this is our next step on our big plan, to have these different real estate properties and to eventually be able to have like tropical island home and all the things. And so I was just like, oh no, I'm so disappointed. And Will was disappointed too because, again, we talked to the architect and we looked at all these cool things and starting to make these plans. But our intuition was just like, you need to wait and not build right now. So we were waiting. We were kind of just disappointed. And because Will is in real estate, he's just very aware of the houses that come on the market and the type of house that we would be looking for and the type of neighborhood we want and the areas and the price range. Those houses just were not easily available, because right now it's such a seller's market, not a buyer's market where we're at. And homes would just be snapped up, really quickly. Like somebody might get, tens of thousands of dollars over their asking price. It's just wild. And certainly there would be no like foreclosure kind of stuff because you would think that would be snapped up really fast. Well, it turns out there was a foreclosure home that was reasonably priced in a neighborhood we liked, 5 minutes from the lots we had bought, so the exact same area we wanted to be in. And it's from the 1950s, so it has great structural pieces. It's got 3 fireplaces.
I love that.
And buildings in the backyard. It's got a full basement downstairs. It's just perfect. And Will sees it and immediately he's like, this is the house. And he calls me and he takes me over there to see it. And guys, the house is a wreck. I mean, it is a total complete wreck. And I am not good at like visualizing what something could be like, but Will has such a good vision for that. So I walk in and I'm just not even sure how the people live like this. Like the outside looks nice, but the carpets are like disgusting. Just like there's gum, like chewed gum or something on the fireplace. There's like, the carpet is horrible. The fans are like caked in dust and the appliances in the kitchen are so old and gross. But Will, he has this amazing eye for like how things can be transformed. And he was like, actually, all we need to do is, this is a lot of cosmetic stuff that can be easily taken care of. And he looks into the house and all this stuff, and there's no structural issues. There's, not any big issues with the home except for mainly cosmetic stuff. and he has this vision. He's like, we can take out this wall and we'll add this here, and this whole basement can be turned into its own apartment completely separate from the house. And as he's telling me, I'm like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get to build a house from scratch without having to build it from scratch. Like, we can put in all of our stuff. And so we bought the house, and we're now on this amazing journey to renovate it. And we've had so much fun. Like, this past weekend we were looking at like the countertops, and there's this room that's gonna be like just my room. It's gonna, I don't even know what I'm gonna call it yet, maybe just like my Zen luxury room or something, but it's gonna have a standing bathtub and like a whole vanity set and like a cute like little luxury couch type thing and big mirrors. And there's, going to be our bedroom, and then there's enough for a guest bedroom, and then they've got the bathrooms, and then, like I said, 3 fireplaces. One side of the fireplace is into the living room, the other side is in the kitchen, and then there's one downstairs for the downstairs apartment we're going to be able to make. And I'm just so excited.
That's like, you posted the well, 2 of them,
Yeah,
the ones in the living room and kitchen,
mm-hmm.
and that, oh my gosh, when you are you gonna make like a highlight, or have you made a highlight for like the house?
No, I should. That's a good idea. Yeah,
you totally should, and I think you should just film everything and show us everything, because I'm like, I watched it like 3 times. I was like, this is gonna be so pretty. Like, the fireplace is it's like such a statement piece because of like how big it is, and how, because it's like the way it's like the actual like fireplace part is like off to the side, it's not centered.
Yep.
And that's beautiful. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so pretty. And then to have that as the only thing separating like the kitchen and the living area, I was just like freaking out. Like, I literally watched like 3 times, and I showed Nate, and we were both like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so cool, because it's beautiful. And I love that when you like take an old house and then you just like update it, and you just kind of like put your own spin on it. I feel like, oh, it's gonna be so pretty. And the fact that it's 5 minutes from the land that y'all have.
Yes.
And you have the basement apartment, like that already is like your manifestations of wanting to have real estate, rental
properties. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And on top of it, like, the timeline is going to be so much quicker than if we built it from scratch. So we're probably going to be in and have it finished before the end of the year, versus if we'd been like building it, it probably would have been sometime the end of next year. And so I am thankful for Will being somebody who has that vision, and also like him trusting his intuition. And this is one of those areas, like, this is my recommendation, like, if you're in a relationship or something, like, different people are going to have intuition, and they're going to have gut feelings about different things, and different things that they have more expertise in. And so, like, I totally defer to him on the house stuff because that's his thing. And just to watch his intuition be like, we need to buy this land, and now we have that land and we can still develop it later.
Right.
We got it at a great price, but then for him to be like, my intuition says pause, my intuition says get this house, and then the amazing things that have come from us purchasing that, and how much faster we're going to be in there. Like, I don't know, there was a lot of serendipitous things, and even the stuff that we're putting into the house, like, some of those elements are like on my vision board, and those things. I'm so excited.
And I love that it's like buying that property because it's so close. That's like even easier to manage your rental properties, having them be so close, like the fact that it's only 5 minutes away. So when you do develop that, like, it's just like, it'd be so much easier, I feel like, because it's like close together versus if it would have been on the other side of town or something. So
right.
It's so cool. I'm so excited. I really do think we should, or you should, I was gonna say we should do like a poll. But I feel like I already know the answer. Like, I feel like everybody's gonna want to see. You should do like Ashley and Will's like home reno show, or like something, just make it like an Instagram highlight, because I will be like your #1 fan. Like, I love that. And I think it's gonna be so pretty. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to visit.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for you to come too. And I have to give all the credit to Will for his demolition skills. We'll probably put this up maybe in our stories or something so people can see, but like we're like entirely gutting the house. Like walls are coming down, all the appliances are out, all the floors, all like just everything.
Mhm.
And he has gone in there the last week with a sledgehammer and just like demolished
Oh my
everything. And
gosh.
like I can tell like he's excited, like he's having fun, I think.
He's having
It's
fun,
hard
yeah.
work, but he is having fun.
No, it sounds fun. Like it sounds like be able to, especially because he has that expertise with his
Yeah.
background, like architecture, and then just being a real estate agent too. Like I
Right.
feel like
hmm
you
And when
know a
he
lot
was a
about.
kid, that was his first job was working with his grandfather. I think he said every year he got another dollar for, how old he was for,
Oh,
working with
oh,
his grandfather. And they did like an air conditioning, heating and cooling business and he just
uh-huh.
helped his grandfather, which
Oh,
grandfather's
cool.
very handy. Like
Yeah.
the man is, I don't know, like maybe 86, something like that, and he's
Mm.
building roofs, like putting roofs on houses still. So,
At
Will comes
86? Oh
from
my
good
God.
stock.
Yeah. Oh, that's just so exciting. And it's just so I love that the story because I feel like sometimes like it when you're in it,
Yeah,
sometimes like intuition or like manifesting things doesn't feel like this straight path. And because I
right.
feel like it's often not a just straight path because that's just
Mhm.
not how life is. And so I love this story because it kind of like it's like you're going down one path and then it seems
Yeah,
like you turn, but you didn't really turn and go down a different
right.
path. It's all the same path
Yeah,
and just different things have to happen at different times and
yeah.
now you're going to be in your own house like a year earlier than you
I
would have been.
know, I know.
Yeah.
And one last thing that is so cool. Every year at Will's birthday, I ask him, like, what are you manifesting this year? And 2 years ago, he said, by my birthday next year, I want to be debt free. And that came true. And so I
Oh
asked
wow.
him, um, I was like, okay, it's your birthday again. Um, what do you want for this coming year? And he said, by my next birthday, I want to have a house. And he bought the house like several days before, like we bought the house several days before his birthday, like the contract closed. And
Oh my
so I'll
gosh.
have to update you and tell you what his next manifestation is for the next birthday year. But
Yeah, we
like
need to have
he
him on
set
as a
those intentions.
guest. He should
Yeah,
give us his
yeah, I
manifestations and
know.
which he probably learned from you. But that's so cool. Oh,
Yeah,
I love that. I'm so excited. I genuinely can't wait. And we'll share like maybe you can post the
yeah, yeah.
video that you
I'll
and some
I'll make
stuff.
a like you said, I'll make a highlight and then
Yeah.
we can share them. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, yay! I'm so excited. And we can share update pictures too, like on
Yes.
our serendipity page.
Okay. Okay.
Um, Speaking of, if you have a serendipitous story, or like anything really, like I mean, I feel like at this point we just kind of take a lot of stories. We tell a lot of like serendipitous stories, but like stories about like manifesting things, ghost stories, alien stories,
Mm-hmm.
um, just happy all around, like happy, feel good stories. You can send it to us and we may read it on the podcast, or you can send us a voice memo and we may play it on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And our Instagram handle is serendipity.pod. So you can DM us on there, or if you want to email us, our email is pod.serendipity@gmail.com. So they're flipped.
Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
so we'd love to hear stories, and if you want to leave us a review,
Yeah, if you leave us a review, we actually will send you a free gift, which is some beautiful custom serendipity artwork that you can either put on your technological devices like your phone or laptop, but there's also print quality version. So it's like print quality art that you could put on your wall. So
okay, yeah,
if you like take a
beautiful.
screenshot of your review, send it to our email, then we will totally give you that free gift as a little thank you. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, 5 stars are preferred, but
Yes, please.
not necessary.
And I don't know, I should have said this before, but I've heard that we have a lot of new listeners.
Yeah.
And so we're really thankful for y'all tuning in.
Hmm.
And we love to hear what you think because I've heard sort of through the grapevines, other shows that I've been on, people have been like, "Hey, I've been listening," and um, comments and stuff. And like, we would just love if you're enjoying this and you're new, for you to just say something in a review because that lets us have more people listen and really helps
Yeah, or like
grow.
say hi on our Instagram too, like
Yeah.
on our posts or like DM us. I mean, I feel like there are people that I know listen because they like
Uh-huh.
comment or they'll DM us,
Right.
but yeah, like sometimes like we don't know we have new listeners unless you like
Right.
say something. And so I feel like I think we both would love to like say hi back and like
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
well, this
Well,
was so fun.
yeah, thanks for celebrating with me, everyone. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.